G'day guys, welcome back. Too many projects, not enough time. I'm Andrew. Here we are, obviously up at the lake. We got International in the background there. We managed to pop the roof out on her from kids jumping on top of it. But what we're going to talk about today is the Can-Am Defender 6x6. Now it's coming up on 2 years since we got her. We've done quite a few things to her and with her, and we use her every day here up at the lake. So I'm going to run through kind of what we've added, because they do come as a bone stock unit. At least in 2020 they came as a bone stock unit with basically nothing on her. So starting from the front here, most obvious one is the plow. I opted for their Can-Am's metal Super Duty, I think it was, plow. Absolutely love it. I got the extra 6-inch wide wings on both sides. It gives me about 7 foot all up, and as you can see, it plows really well, and the extra traction of the 6-wheel drive is awesome. Features of that is just typical plow stuff, I guess. It connects up and disconnects really quickly, and the mounting plate that stays on the UTV all year round is really quite up and out of the way and doesn't really affect off-roading and that sort of stuff, so that's really good as well. And I say connects and disconnects really easy and super fast, and is pretty good. Alright, coming up from there we have a hitch mount where most of you people have the winch. Now the reason I have the hitch mount on the front down low here is that all the boat trailers and everything we push around up here at the lake, I push them around on the front. It's actually like way easier to push trailers around on the front than what you think. So we put boats in and out of the water and all sorts of stuff. The log arch for collecting logs for the mill and firewood all connects to the hitch here on the front. It's off right now so it doesn't interfere with the plow. Yeah, I push trailers around far more than I ever pull them on the hitch on the back. And it's a great setup for me, which means the winch then is up on top of this this winch mount bumper, which is a Can-Am bumper. Now they did, when I ordered the 2021, they actually sent me a 2019, so there wasn't enough room for the winch to mount back here, so I simply made a 1/4-inch plate or 3/8 plate or whatever that is, and just mounted this further forwards, which I actually really like better. The winch we have is an Axon 45S with the synthetic rope, and works really good. Really happy with it. Great winch. The only thing I wish it had was a remote button. What do we got up under the front here? Yep, nothing really added. Everything's pretty stock here. I have the winch controller mounted up under here, so the odd time that I do have to run the winch from that controller, I can totally control it from right here, so that's good. Everything else is stuck inside of here. We do have winches connected up to where the winches connect, and that's pretty much it for up here. So moving around, we are going to move around the driver's side here and go over some of the accessories we have there. Now some of these accessories I did mount in some of my videos, so I will have links below in the description of mounting some of these accessories. Some of them I didn't, most of them I did. Like the plow I did, the fenders I did. Now with the fenders, I just ordered the front fenders, I didn't order the back ones. And these are great for keeping the mud out and deflecting the wind from sucking back into the cab. That was before I had the doors. And then moving up, we have the, I think the Komodo or whatever the name of them is, mirrors. Yeah, pretty good. I use the mirrors a lot for backing up and that sort of thing. So I've got 2 mirrors on, mounted down low here to be out of the way of the doors. I also got the Can-Am really expensive wind deflectors. Now these wind deflectors, absolutely love them. We only have the half doors on, so which is all I want, and all, but we'll get to them in a minute. So these wind deflectors, absolutely love them. In the winter, we set them out here to deflect more of the wind out from being sucked into the cab, and it really keeps the draft and the wind down in the winter, so it's a little warmer in there. But in the summer, we angle them like that, and they scoop the wind in, which is awesome. Keeps you a lot cooler, keeps the dust circulating out of the cab, so it's a lot more dust free by sucking the wind in with these things. And you can set them at all sorts of different angles to blow it in areas in the cab. They're on both sides of the rig, and I gotta say, they were really expensive for what they are, but they work absolutely great for both winter and summer, for keeping the drafts out and sucking the drafts in. So, and then moving back, we have the Can-Am Defender half doors. Yeah, they do the job. That's all I got to say. We could have spent a little more time on fit and finish and stuff, but I did take the safety bar off here to be a little more comfortable to drive, and also the netting that goes across here as well. Didn't go with that, just went with the plain door. I have thought about making a door top for it, maybe in the future, maybe not. I'm finding that I don't really need it here in the winter, even when it is down -20 and plowing the driveway. The heat that radiates into the cab from the engine, and I rug up anyway when I'm outdoors. All these people that sit in beautiful warm cabs and t-shirts and shorts and think it's great in the middle of winter, wait until you break down and you're nowhere near home and you have to walk home. Which is why I don't mind staying rugged up and keeping warm in what I'm wearing when I'm driving this, using this up in the winter and plowing the driveways. I have mounted my fire extinguisher right behind where I sit here, so when I jump out I can quickly, easily grab it. It is out of the way, and it doesn't interfere with your body at all when you're sitting here. I found it just to be a great out of the way spot. Down below, I just have a Milwaukee pack out box. In here I have a bunch of straps and emergency gear, and it's a beautiful, it fits perfectly under here, just held in place by a couple of Occo straps. Great location for that extra storage. Doesn't really affect your feet back here because you got them up near the pedals. Great extra storage, fits great. The seat belts, I have added, I think, an extra 4-inch, bit of 4-inch 3/16 bar, 1-inch bar, to raise these up about 4 inches. Just makes them a little more comfortable and easier to plug into. We'll get to what we've done here on the dash with the switches. Alright, I'm going to move the camera out a little bit. Going up a little bit higher here, we have a 3/16 aluminum roof that I made up for this. That way I can actually climb up on top, I can store stuff up there. I do have a rail tie-down system up here as well. So if I do put a spare tire up here, some storage boxes to go camping, that sort of thing. It's a very tough, durable roof. We have some brand of light bar mounted up here. I had this previously on my Polaris. It works great, ton of extra light. I don't know what brand it is, but it works great. The windscreen itself is a plexi windscreen, or a Lexan windscreen. I did make it myself. Made some great little tie-down attachment hooks and so forth. Does the job. I know there's the whole, you can't beat glass, but you know what? Here in Canada, it's almost $2,000 for the flip-out glass windscreen with the windshield wiper. It's pretty dirty right now, but I do clean it periodically, and for me, I find it just fine. I think the Plexi or the Lexan cost me about $100, so if I got to make another one, it's still a lot cheaper than $2,000. So bang for the buck. For me, this works great. I also made a back window out of it, and with my own mounting points, actually using the mounting on the crossbars here, and it tucks up underneath the roof at the back. It's a little bit floppy, does the job. It's awesome. Once again, much cheaper than the factory one. Okay, moving back, I have added these bed rails, which are great for tie downs, rub rails. I wasn't a big fan of the fenders for back here because the wheels are quite underneath here, and we don't really get much mud and stuff happening with the back wheels and that sort of thing back here either. Everything else is stock, no turbos, no silliness. Up under here, I've removed the factory shock style assistance, and I did put in an electric actuator, which works great as well. Actually, I had that previously on my Polaris 6x6. I took it off that when I sold it and put it onto this one, and it works just great. There's another video on that as well. And alright, let's move around the back. Now I simply run a bit of 2x8 across there, holding all the recovery gear and stuff up front. A bit of a mess right now. Put the chainsaw up there normally as well, which I've gone to an electric Makita chainsaw now. Far better for the trails than a gas one. Okay, still running the stock wheels and tires. I think this year I'm going to put some 30s on here, more of a road tire, because we have a lot of grass around here, and these things chew up the grass if you do really tight turns. So I'm probably going to switch these out to a more of a road style, less aggressive tire. All right, moving up here. I have, this is another winch controller outlet, because I do have a log arch which I go and collect logs and stuff with, and I have a winch on that. So I run the cable from the winch, plug it into here, and then on the inside of the back wall here I have the winch controller set up. This winch does have a remote, and I can also plug in a cabled controller as well. 80 amp fuse for that one, and that's a 5,000 pound winch for hauling logs and lifting logs and that sort of stuff, as well as I can also mount that same winch, because it is a hitch connect, into the rear hitch as well if I wanted a winch on the back of this thing. And I've got to say, they're separate controllers from the front, so you don't have to get them confused and do any damage accidentally, because you don't want to be running the back winch and have the front winch still connected and then run the front and then wreck the front winch doing that as well. Okay, as you can see, mirrors, deflector, and the doors. Now we're going to move our way around to the driver's side. We're going to explain the switches and stuff going on the dash. Alright, inside the cab here, what we have for switches is we got the factory headlight, low beam, high beam, the off-road lights, which is the light bar up on the roof, and then this next isolator winch switch here, that is for the winch connection on the back that I just was talking about. So that way we can have that isolated, and that way if someone, a kid or something, wants to play with the switches and all that's connected up, then you can isolate it so that it's not actually accidentally used or run when you don't want it to be. And it's just as simple as just turn it on. Now we have winch power going to the winch at the back. Turn it off, no power for that winch. Alright, then moving across the dash here a little bit. Got the key, got the four-wheel drive and six-wheel drive button. Some of you guys have the eco mode and that sort of button here as well. That is actually all part of the dash. I don't remember how to do it, but it's all in these buttons here now, and not in a separate button over here on the dash. So Once again, we've got a winch isolator switch and the winch controller for the Axon 45. So the front winch, once again, if you got kids riding in here and they want to press buttons and play with stuff, the winch will not work unless you actually turn the isolator switch in, which is just another safety feature. I know it takes up another button, but it is a good safety feature. This is the winch controller, in and out. And then this one here, the hatch looking one, because it looks like a hatch, I kind of used this button for the bed raise in the back with the electric actuator to raise and lower the bed in the back. And then a USB charger, just in case you want to charge your phone, or we do actually have mounted up here for an iPad, and then that way we can run an iPad with navigational software on it if we're getting kind of out in the outback. And we also have, I'm trialing these, I'm going to be running these probably in Ivy or another project that's coming along. Too many projects, not enough time. And these are great. Rugged air head control, I guess, yeah, head units with microphones. Communicate really, really well. I really love these things. And this is a little controller box. You just plug your headsets into the front of them. 2 headsets for this one. You can get a 4 headset one, or you can actually add on to this one, I think, to have 4 headsets. Volume, squelch, and to power it, you can either plug into your regular cigarette lighter, and they also, I think, yeah, there we go, simple on the back. You can also power them with a 9-volt battery as well. I just simply plug it into the cigarette lighter in the unit, and it sits up there. And they're really great for communicating down the trail. Now, you can't wear a helmet, obviously, although there probably, I know there are some motorbike helmet options you can do the same thing with, but we just opted for these because, as I say, these are kind of, I'm using them here as a test for another project coming out, which I know is going to be noisy to drive. So, what else we got? So we got the standard cigarette lighter plug in there. Down here is a 12-volt outlet. I'm just trying to see if I got a plug. I don't, but this is the standard plug for most of your trickle chargers. So when I leave it parked up here, I just plug my trickle charger right into here. And at the same time, I can use those same plugs to power spotlights and all sorts of 12-volt accessories just by plugging them in here. You just need to put a pigtail on the end of whatever you're going to use in here as 12-volt, but you can plug it into there as a great 12-volt outlet. Alright guys, so one more thing. I've got a rear view mirror up here, although I have whacked it with my helmet. And to mount that, I got a 1 3/4 inch piece of tubing, welded some nice little ends on it with some brackets, and it simply bolts up to the same bolt holes that bolt the roof on. And this 1 3/4 inch is fairly standard roll bar material for a lot of UTVs, so all the accessories can bolt up here. I have this wide mirror bolted up, as well as a wraparound handle put on the other side, and you could bolt whatever accessories you wanted up here, your iPad mount, whatever. I found this to be a great little addition. Made this one up myself. It's not something you can buy, but it's great. There we go. Almost 2 years since we got the 2020, and I gotta say, I love it. It goes anywhere. I had a Polaris 6x6 previously, a Ranger, 2006, and I thought it was good. This thing is just unbelievable. It goes anywhere. Haven't had any issues with it at all. I'm trying to think if I have. I haven't had any issues at all. No fires, which is really good. So there we go. Almost 2 year walk around of what we've done to it, and how we use it, and all the accessories we've put on it. And thanks for coming along, guys. I appreciate you taking some time to watch this video and what we've done. If you have any questions at all, please type it down below in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. and I'll also add a bunch of links below, and maybe some of these weird locations of stuff, of different videos of different accessories we've put on here, if I can figure out how to do that. And remember to like and subscribe if you like my videos, and we'll see you next time.